Hey, what is up guys, your boy Izokage here with a new what if, and this what if is what if Naruto gave into hatred. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's begin. A warm liquid ran down Naruto's hand. He opened his eyes and was lying in a pool of it. He looked up to the night sky, then to the cloud-covered moon. Why me? Why am I treated like dirt? Why? The moonlight disappeared as a foot came down into his eye. Naruto's vision went dark. He then opened his eyes again to a dark room with ankle-high water. He looked up to see a huge red bars towering over his 6-year-old body. He looked into the cage to see red eyes staring back at him. Naruto fell back in fear of what was inside. Then a voice spoke. "Don't fear me, kid. I can grant you power." Naruto, still in shock, could make out in the darkness a large fox with multiple tails. Naruto got scared and ran out of the room. He began walking through endless hallways. Then he found a door after 20 minutes of searching for something, anything. The door led him right back into the room where he started. Naruto, having low stamina, collapsed. On his knees, he looked back into the cage. The voice let out a dark, maniacal laugh, which sent chills down Naruto's spine. "Kid, I've seen all that the villagers have done to you, and I sympathize with you. That's why I want to help you. And I can do that if you release my seal." Naruto could feel immense power coming from the fox and began to think back to all the lonely days swinging outside the academy, watching the students hug their parents. They looked happy. Everyone was happy except him. He would walk through the village and get death stares everywhere he looked. He was always hungry, as no one would serve him food. They would all run him out of their stores, even the ramen guy. Naruto's clothes were torn and dirty, often having blood stained onto his shirt. One day, he went to the Hokage's office. In an act of desperation, he knelt down in front of the Hokage, begging for food, begging for somewhere to even live. But the Hokage looked at him like every other villager did, with hate and malice. Naruto was brought out of his flashback by the voice saying, "Will you accept my power?" Naruto, with a determined look, "Yes, and I'll show them what a real monster looks like." Naruto walked up to the cage and slowly rose to the seal. Naruto reached for it, and as he was about to rip it off, he felt something or someone touch his shoulder. He turned around and saw the fourth Hokage. "What are you doing here?" he questioned. "Don't worry, my son. I'm here for you." Minato's spirit was giving off a warm, comforting aura. Naruto was surprised to hear his words, but his split second of happiness quickly turned to anger. Naruto slapped Minato's arm off his shoulder and began a silent laughter. At this point, the Kyuubi's chakra was leaking from the cage, influencing Naruto. His nails began to grow, sharpen, and whispers began to darken. Naruto turned to the spirit of the fourth Hokage and began using his claws to slice at it. The weak spirit couldn't stay for long, and it faded away. Naruto then turned back to the cage and ripped off the seal. The gates to the cage swung open with a loud crash as it hit the walls. The physical manifestation of the QB began to form into red chakra, and this chakra swirled around Naruto, fusing with him. In the real world, the villagers stopped kicking Naruto. They felt a dark, murderous aura coming from him. The Hokage in his office felt this and dispatched Ambus to the scene. Naruto, still unconscious, began to get up, all his wounds healed. The Ambu appeared in front of the crowd and got in a battle formation. The QB spoke through Naruto. "Get in my way and you will die." The QB had sent out a powerful aura, then launched to the Ambu members, easily taking them out with one slice. The crowd of villagers began running away, and Naruto chased them and killed many of the villagers. The Hokage quickly ran to intercept Naruto, who had just finished killing the last members of the crowd. Hiruzen stared upon the sea of blood and dismembered bodies. He ran full speed toward Naruto, but was blocked. A seventh tail began sprouting, and Hiruzen knew he had to stop Naruto before the ninth emerged. He took out a chakra suppression tag, trying to place it on him, but Naruto was too quick. Naruto then gained some distance between him and Hiruzen. Then, he opened his mouth. A small black orb began to form, and it got bigger the longer he charged it. Naruto then fired the Biju bomb at Hiruzen, who barely managed to dodge, but his arm was taken off in the process. The Biju bomb didn't just stop at him, it went through the streets, destroying houses and stores. The QB then realized that Naruto's 6-year-old body couldn't handle the strain of his chakra. The chakra began receding, but before it could fully, the QB ran into the forest before his body would collapse. They made it 2 days walking distance from the village and collapsed in a forest. Around a week later, Naruto woke up. He groaned in pain and held his head. He then began patting down his body, and to his shock, he had no injuries except when he reached his face. His right eye that was crushed by a kick was now an empty socket with muscles and scar tissue showing. Also on his forehead, he realized there was a warm towel. Naruto looked around and saw that he was in a small hut. He sat up and in came a girl with long black hair and brown eyes, no more than 2 years older than him, and the hidden miss headband on her forehead. "Oh, you're finally awake. Where am I?" "Me and my master found you passed out near the land of waves, so we made a little hut near the village and nursed you back to health." Thank you. Well, I'll be leaving." Naruto tried getting up, but even though he was recovered, his muscles were weak from a whole week of sleeping. "Well, seems you're staying here for a while. Don't worry, I'm sure my master won't mind. Oh, by the way, my name is Haku Yuki. And yours is?" It's Naruto Uzumaki." Later in the evening, a man with a large sword walked into the hut, staring at him. "Boy, where did you come from, and why are you lying unconscious in the forest?" I'm from the Leaf Village, and I'm trying to run away." Zabuza, knowing he must have a reason to leave, decided not to pry any further. "Well, we're leaving this area for a while. When you recover, do you want to join us?" Naruto quickly nodded without a second of hesitation. "Okay, get some rest." As Zabuza left, Haku walked in. Because of Naruto's weakened state, she had to feed him, and this went on for 3 more days. During the nights when no one was around, Naruto began talking to the Kyuubi, who he had merged with. They talked about their goals and plans for the future, and one thing they both agreed to is that the Leaf Village will soon burn to the ground at their own hands. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me some feedback in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.